But it's always amazing to me, though, hearing parents, that just talk to their kids like they're babies when they're 7 or 8 years old. Like they pick up these bad habits. And then going to a question I have for you, Danny, it's like, man, I think this is so crazy that like during elementary school and middle school and high school, kids, they have all these presentations that they have to do, but they've never gone through a presentation class before. Right. They had to start doing all these presentations. So they just pick up these bad habits because they replicate whatever it is that they saw someone else do before them. So is there actions that are going on right now to implement, or is that your mission to bring presentation classes earlier in the academic process?
Yes. So really the niche that I've come upon is there's a huge gap in teaching email etiquette in schools. To your exact point, it's not formally taught, and it's assumed for many years, decades even, that students would just know how to write an email because they know how to code and make an app and play video games and very fluent with phones and technology, but they're not the same skill. So there's this enormous hole in every city and town and urban, rural, rich, poor, everywhere, that students don't know how to send just a basic message to advocate for themselves for an opportunity. So you're right. They're having students send emails, or having students give presentations, but they're not teaching them how to do it. And the end product is not good. Everyone knows that. Employers complain. Colleges don't like it. Everyone's asking for more soft skills training. And there's really no clear formal solution until now.
And head on over to rubineducation.com for that. Quick plug for that, right? So was it easy to figure that out? Like, because it's so interesting it's interesting as we just talk about this. It's like, even the example that Tim gave, it's like, all these kids have to give presentations. They have to get on stage, do this thing. Yet they've never even like in the slightest been taught how to do this thing. Like, I just think about like swim practice when I was a head coach, and like, it's like, yo kid, the way that you get on this team is you have to swim across the pool. And that's night one, and we haven't taught you a damn thing. So it's almost like, hold on a second. My job is only comes into place as the head coach of a swim team if you have any kind of idea of how to swim, which is interesting. And so so much about life is like that. We do need to teach that thing first.
It's been the most overlooked. It's been the most overlooked, underserved skill in America over the last 20 years, and it's only really reached a fever point and a real problem since the pandemic. I'm telling you, because I would go to exhibit halls pre-pandemic, and I'd have my booth and all my things, my email etiquette lessons, and they're like, "Oh, what a neat idea! What a cool little thing you got!" And now when I show it, they're like, "Lord Jesus, what does this cost? Help me, because I can't handle reading 150 emails every day from ninth graders that look like chicken scratch." And then the employers are now asking for more of it, and so it's finally reached a point where everybody recognizes like this is a problem we need solving. But for me to arrive at the product in time for the audience to be ready, it took the last 9 years of being on this journey to kind of arrive with a product and start to understand this audience, understand that customer, that avatar and the pain points, and like listen to them and what they need, and do custom software development. And like it took a very long time. And now I'm in a position where there's high demand. There's really my company providing this exact solution. I don't have a ton of competition, so it's a great opportunity, but it took a long time to get here, and now I'm trying to build my moat.
Yeah, I think interesting, something that Leanne says is just, understanding where someone is coming from. Doesn't matter who they are, but really just grasping and understanding what they're saying in the situation, I think is something that's incredibly important. The context of the story, the context of the person that's going through that thing. You hear books and podcasts talk about, like, people bitch about someone who's going through, this person, they did XYZ bad thing to me. And it's just like, how dare them do this? And it's like, well, what if they're having a really bad day, right? Why? Maybe they ran the red light that you're mad at because they're on the way to the emergency room for something else. And it's, oftentimes it's all about me mentality. And it's like, calm down sometimes, and think about other people. And
the things that I talk about all the time, I say, look, we learn these things in the sandbox. We learn them in kindergarten. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And you can apply that lesson to everything you'll ever do in your life, is you treat people the way you want them to talk to you. And if you do that, then you'll get to that next phase. You'll get through that next door. If you don't, then you won't. And it's like, we all know these things innately. We're taught these things at a young age, but then we forget that they still matter when we're adults. And even in these little one-off moments, these email exchanges, these phone calls, these Zooms, presentations, right? We forget that the same mentality, the same, lessons apply even in these everyday, adult life.
As someone who's been directly involved within the startup community for almost a decade, I want to talk to you about a serious pain point: spending a ton of time trying to understand the business landscape in the 757. That's time that should be focused on growing the business. At StartWheel, we're here to help you by compiling all of the news you need to know about in one place. Now there's no need to search multiple websites. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.